Hey guys, my name's Tim. I'm 16 years old and I live in a small town where everybody knows everybody. Before we dive into my crazy story, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up. So, let's get started, shall we? Growing up, I was the typical nerdy orphan kid that nobody really paid much attention to. Living in an orphanage, I had to put up with a lot of teasing and mockery from my classmates. They thought of me as weak and unimpressive, and I never really had the chance to prove them wrong. Well, until one day, that is. It all started on a seemingly ordinary day at school. We were having our physical education class, and as usual, my classmates were quick to poke fun at me, calling me a weakling and laughing at my clumsy attempts to participate in the activities. But little did they know, something was about to happen that would change their perspectives forever. We were playing dodgeball, and as I tried to dodge a ball thrown at me, I tripped and fell, causing even more laughter from my classmates. But then something unexpected happened. While trying to get back up, one of the bullies decided to add insult to injury and pulled my shirt off. What they didn't expect was that underneath my nerdy exterior, I had a pretty impressive physique. I had been secretly working out, trying to better myself and build my strength, but I never flaunted it. As my shirt came off, my classmates were left in shock, their jaws dropping as they gawked at my chiseled abs and toned muscles. The atmosphere in the room changed in an instant. The laughter stopped and the mocking expressions turned into looks of disbelief. From that moment on, I started to dominate my classmates, whether it was in sports or academics. I was no longer the underdog they had once thought I was. The revelation of my true strength brought about a newfound respect from my peers, and even some apologies from those who had once ridiculed me. My confidence soared, and I began to believe in myself and my abilities. But just when I thought things couldn't get any better, an even crazier twist was waiting just around the corner. And I promise you, this one will blow your mind. As if being an orphan and dealing with my classmates wasn't enough, I had another huge challenge to face. My parents, who had divorced years ago, had left me in a difficult situation. My dad was a rich man and paid hefty child support to my mom. But here's the twist. My mom didn't use any of the money to support me. Instead, she used the money to buy herself a mega mansion while I was left to fend for myself. So, there I was, a homeless teenager struggling to find my place in the world. One day, as I sat on a park bench, I couldn't help but cry. I felt so lost and alone. Why me? I sobbed. Why did this have to happen to me? But life has a funny way of bringing people together. And that's when I met her. The love of my life. It happened on a day when I was at my lowest, wandering the streets with nowhere to go. I stopped by a small convenience store to buy something to eat when I noticed a commotion at the cashier. Two rude customers were berating the poor girl behind the counter, yelling at her over a minor mistake. I could see the fear and embarrassment in her eyes, and I knew I had to do something. Despite my own troubles, I couldn't just stand by and watch this injustice. I stepped in, calmly telling the customers to back off and leave her alone. Who do you think you are? One of the rude customers snarled at me. You don't know who you're messing with, kid, the other threatened. That's when my martial arts skills kicked in. With a swift move, I disarmed the first customer. With a powerful kick, I sent the other one sprawling to the floor. The entire store was silent as the customers scrambled to leave, their pride and anger deflated. The cashier, whose name was Emily, looked at me with gratitude and relief. As I approached the counter, she couldn't help but say, "Wow, you really saved me there. I don't know how to thank you." As I paid for my food, Emily and I started talking. She asked me about myself, and I told her about my situation, how I was homeless and struggling to make ends meet. To my astonishment, she offered to help me out. She told me that she had a spare room in her apartment, and that I could stay with her until I got back on my feet. I was hesitant at first, but something about her kind eyes and genuine concern for me made me accept her offer. Emily and I became inseparable. We spent our days exploring the city together and our nights talking about our dreams and aspirations. I found solace in her company and realized that I was falling in love with her. And as it turned out, she was falling in love with me, too. One night, as we sat on our couch, she looked into my eyes and said, "You know, I've never met anyone like you before. You're strong, brave, and you have such a good heart. I can't believe I got so lucky." Guys, buckle up, because things are about to get even more intense in my life story. Remember to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the action. Okay, back to the story. As Emily and I grew closer, our relationship blossomed into something truly special. She was kind, caring, and always there for me. It felt like fate had brought us together, and I couldn't have been happier. As I settled into my new life with Emily, she opened up her home and her heart to me. One evening, we were cozied up on the couch, watching a movie together. She glanced over at me with a hesitant smile and said, "I have something to tell you, and I hope it won't change the way you feel about me, but..." With a deep breath, she revealed her secret. She was actually a famous idol who had gone missing. Unable to cope with the stress and pressure of her career, she had run away from it all, leaving her managers and fans searching for her. As I listened to her story, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The girl I had fallen in love with was actually a celebrity in hiding? But instead of being overwhelmed, I felt a wave of compassion and understanding for her situation. I reached out to hold her hand, squeezing it gently. "Your past doesn't define who you are," I assured her. "I love you for who you are now, not for who you used to be." Emily's eyes filled with tears and she smiled gratefully. "Thank you," she whispered. "I was so scared you would leave me if you knew the truth." We decided that, together, we would face whatever challenges came our way. We knew that her managers would eventually find her, and we had to be prepared. Our lives were about to take a dramatic turn as we embarked on a wild adventure across the globe, with her relentless managers hot on our heels. Our first destination was a small town nestled in the mountains, far away from the prying eyes of the media. We found a tiny cottage to rent, and we spent our days exploring the beautiful countryside, hand in hand. But our peaceful existence was short-lived, as one day we spotted a familiar face lurking in the shadows, one of Emily's managers. Panicked, we packed our belongings and fled in the dead of night, leaving our little haven behind. Our journey took us from country to country, city to city, constantly looking over our shoulders and staying one step ahead of the determined managers chasing us. Throughout our travels, our love only grew stronger. The adrenaline and excitement of our life on the run brought us even closer together. We shared secret kisses in moonlit alleys and whispered declarations of love beneath foreign stars. But as the pursuit intensified, we knew we couldn't keep running forever. There had to be a way to put an end to the chase and find a way to live our lives in peace. That's when I came up with a daring plan, one that would either set us free or doom us both. As we sat in a dimly lit cafe in a bustling city, I outlined my idea to Emily. She listened intently, her eyes wide with fear and hope. "Are you sure this will work?" she asked, her voice trembling. I squeezed her hand, my determination unwavering. "It has to," I replied. "We can't keep running forever. We need to take control of our lives and stand up to those who would control us." With that, we set the wheels of our plan in motion, unaware of the incredible twists and turns that still laid ahead. Little did we know, our most dangerous and thrilling adventure was yet to come. As Emily and I embarked on our thrilling journey around the world, We couldn't help but find humor in the most unexpected places. We relied on each other for support, comfort, and laughter as we navigated the twists and turns of our adventure. Our travels took us to exotic locations, from bustling metropolises to serene island getaways. We marveled at the beauty of the world around us and reveled in the freedom we had found together. Do you think we could just stay on this beach forever? I mean, I'm all for living the dream, but I'm not sure I'd survive on a diet of coconuts and seaweed. But our journey wasn't without its fair share of close calls and heart-stopping moments. At one point, we were cornered by Emily's managers in a crowded marketplace, and I had to use my martial arts skills to fend them off. Wow, you really kicked some serious butt back there. I guess you could say I'm a ninja in the streets, and nerd in the sheets. Another time, we were nearly exposed when a fan recognized Emily in a small cafe, but we managed to slip away unnoticed. Hey, aren't you that famous idol? Nope, I'm just your everyday run-of-the-mill missing person. Throughout our global adventure, we encountered many unforgettable characters. There was this mysterious woman who helped us escape from a sticky situation in a remote village, only to vanish without trace. I always knew my guardian angel would be a ninja. You and your ninjas. Is this a reoccurring theme or something? And the charming street performer who turned out to be an undercover agent sent to track us down, but ultimately chose to let us go. You two are quite the pair. I can't bring myself to separate you. Aww, you're like the fairy godmother we never knew we needed. As we faced these challenges head-on, we discovered new depths to our love and an unbreakable trust in one another. Through it all, we knew that no matter what the world threw at us, we would face it together. If we can survive being chased by angry managers, I think we can handle anything life throws our way. Well, as long as it's not a ninja throwing star, I think we'll be just fine. But as our journey continued, I couldn't help but wonder what the future would hold for us. Would we be able to outrun Emily's past forever? Or would the time come when we'd have to confront it once and for all? That moment arrived sooner than we expected. As we sat in a beautiful garden in a distant land, I received a call from an old friend. He had stumbled upon information that could finally put an end to our life on the run. The opportunity we had been waiting for had finally arrived, but it would require us to take a leap of faith and trust in the strength of our love. I guess it's time to trade in our flip-flops for superhero capes. You know what they say. Behind every great man is an even greater woman. With a secret identity. With heavy hearts, we knew it was time to face the music and bring our global adventure to an end. We returned home, ready to confront the challenges that awaited us and determined to create a new life together.